The bell is tolling. It's a coach.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Redskins. And now spinning away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership...
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a... long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Watch it now, Barney.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
Green, 39.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw, it's Allen. Going deep downfield for Ross. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Allen. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22.
And that's how you... Pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. Bell so light on his feet. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more on that one and another first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Allen throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
No, check, Patriot!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A first update now from Cincinnati. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. That one clearly still early, but that would be a bit of a surprise. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Ertz over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Matt Milano Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Set. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Set. Green 39.
On second down, here's Allen. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. But it's complete. Henry. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 15 yards that time. And a Buffalo first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Allen off the play fake. Going deep downfield for Ross. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Bell so light on his feet. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Allen going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
No, check, Patriot.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Bills have taken the lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sideline.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Allen. Now and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 16. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Henry's got it out on the left side. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Allen now looks to throw. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing again. Allen. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Allen. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call... spot on. How about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue line.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to...
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help. Pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns. These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins have tied it here. The extra point to come can put him in the driver's seat. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them. And they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. A run for Nick Chubb. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Lucky 56. Set. Green 39. Green.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Going deep downfield. And got his man complete. A gain of 39 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Trying to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Leopard! Leopard! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
A give to Bell. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bills on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Over! Hurry up, here we go!
Throwing now is Allen. On the crossing route, complete. That's Clayton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now they'll try to sweep with Bell. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Back now at FedEx Field. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on second and 10. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13.
All right, here we go. Green 39!
They'll look to throw here. Fighting to stay upright. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Bills. And I hate to point to that missed field goal from their last drive, but you look at the scoreboard, they would be in the lead if they had that 3.
Well, no doubt those points or those missed points do loom large, but here they're getting a chance for a makeup, aren't they? Almost like my time in school, I was always begging my teachers for a makeup exam. Here's their opportunity now to put those points on the board.
And every point becoming more vital here in the second half. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on second and 14.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Allen looks to throw on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here we go now.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Room to run past midfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the gun, it's Allen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's caught inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And the 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. He's going to get it running right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So now an important conversion attempt here as the Bills line up to go for 2.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
Allen to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do?
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 57 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bills have recovered. One slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it. Putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Rolling to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. The give is to Bell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2, now third down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw is Allen. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Allen going to go on 4th down. Going deep here for Allen. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than...
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Well, we were on hand for a